new cosmetic leaks, player satisfaction surveys, PTB changes, and much more. Let's talk about it. Kings and queens, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and we're basically going to be recapping all of the information that we missed in today's video. There's quite a lot to go through, so let's jump on into everything. First things first is the satisfaction survey. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this is the first time ever I've seen Dead by Daylight interact this much with the community. Obviously, people are not happy, from what I've seen at least, with the new changes that have been incorporated into the game with all of the healing stuff. People are not happy with it. They have been going through on Twitter and replying to a bunch of different people giving their feedback about this. They've been going through and addressing concerns from everybody. They have been on it when it comes down to just picking up some comments and replying to them. I've never seen this from Dead by Daylight. Maybe a little bit in the past here and there, but it has been excessive, the amount of replies. Just scrolling through it now while I'm recording this, there's tons of replies, which is quite interesting, especially the popular ones. They said that they're monitoring all this feedback and they want to hear your voice. Honestly, it seems they're really trying here. And I urge you, if you have played the PTB, to give your honest feedback, and your feedback, not feedback you heard from, let's say, me, not feedback you heard from your favorite streamer. You know, don't go in watching Linksy and say, hey, you know what, I'm just gonna copy what she said because it makes sense because she knows what she's talking about. They want to hear your feedback. How do you feel about it? Think about your own individuality and what you think about these changes. Head over to that survey, which I'll link down below, and give them your honest feedback on the PTB. Answer truthfully, try to be as constructive as you can rather than just saying, fix this is stupid, and give them some solid advice because we can actually have our voices heard. Now, it is confirmed by Mandy from the forums, I have seen this, that changes are going to be coming. So honestly, depending on what we say, might have a big impact on what those changes could be, and I highly encourage you guys to fill these surveys out. Speaking of this survey, to segue a little bit onto some of the other things that was in here, they talk about quite a few things. They talk about new game modes potentially coming. I think they're really trying to push the envelope with this one. They have asked a few questions about this. The first one of these questions is, when considering a potential new game mode during an event, to what extent do you disagree or agree with the following things? And then they asked a couple of follow-up questions. One of them being, I like the experience to allow me to practice my skills. One of them saying, I like the experience to be more casual than competitive. It seems that they want to incorporate new game modes, but the real thing is, should they do it as a new game mode with a completely different fan base, completely different section? Should they do it in a custom game, or should they reserve these new events just to events? Now, personally, I think it works out either way. I think custom games would be a smarter way to do it than public games so you don't split the player base. And if you are going to do it as an event, that works out quite well too, but it can't be the same thing every single event. I don't want to walk around picking up crowns and then just replacing the crowns with, you know, like the Meet Your Maker stuff. It's kind of boring. I don't want to do the same thing. When we get different things like a snowman coming into the game and then next year we get something completely different, I think that's nice. Some recurring themes would be cool, like a little callback, like, hey, we did this last year. But I think the Halloween event was a good example of this, where we've seen pumpkins, things like that, and then the whole event essentially changed the way it worked. More events like that would be good. Adding in some new things that we need to do, maybe different objectives, would be a lot of fun. If they really go above and beyond, I think people would really enjoy it. That being said, though, it does mean that they are looking for potential new game modes to come into the future, and it's quite exciting. I am excited about it because you never know what could happen. It's pretty cool. Maybe we could see new game modes coming in the future. Carrying on forward to some more information, we actually got some leaks. On the PTB itself, there was a lot of leaked stuff. I'll show you some really crazy leaks tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But for now, the things that they've dug up in the files was that there's new voice lines and a potential new skin for Ash coming into the game. This is cool. I mean, I'm personally not the biggest fan of Ash. I didn't see any of the, movies or shows or anything like that, so I'm not entirely too sure what's going on with it. But it's nice to see that they're continuing to provide things for this character. You might see some more Ash players coming around, and it's cool. It's cool. Having more voice lines, it's really awesome as well, and I'm really looking forward to that because having more things for our licensed characters will encourage more licensors to bring their content into Dead by Daylight and maybe even skins for someone like Freddy, maybe more skins for Myers, some way, somehow go down an avenue to get this to work. I think it'll be really cool if that happens in the future, and this is a step in the right direction for everything. A little bit more news is that we are probably going to be getting the board game coming out very soon. Now, I actually had a copy of this board game for a very long time because I was a Fog Whisperer and I was lucky enough to get one of the very early prototypes of this. But if you have ordered these or you're planning on ordering them, they say that they are coming soon. So that's exciting stuff. I mean, look, I played this a couple of times. It is actually fun. I'm not just saying that to say it. If you like Dead by Daylight, it's definitely something I would recommend getting, especially if you have friends to play with. If you don't, it's a good collector's item. I've seen some awesome people in my chat, shout out to Clusterhead, that want to paint these. I think B-Sizzles, another person in my chat, has said the same thing, and multiple other people, sorry if I missed you, that they want to paint their figurines, and I think that's an awesome way to really praise them, essentially. Give it your own little touch, and I'm excited to see what the community comes up with. Speaking of, the last bit of information that I have for you guys, I'm sure if you guys are Funko Pop collectors, or you were excited for the Funko Pops, you were very sad to see, and in case you didn't know, I had to break the news to you, that the collaboration with Dead by Daylight and Funko Pops isn't happening anymore. I'm not sure what went on. I mean, when I originally met Matthew Cote the first time in New York City Comic Con all the way back in 2020, you know, we talked about the possibility of Funko Pops coming. We've mentioned it over dinner a few times, and they always were having a really hard time getting Funko Pops to even answer their calls. Eventually, they dropped the bombshell on us that, hey, Funko Pops are coming at the end of their developer stream. They then promised in the next year's stream that we were going to be getting them at the end of the year. At that point, we asked a couple times, and, you know, obviously with COVID, people weren't in factories making these things, so they didn't really get an opportunity to do that. But for whatever reason, the deal seems like it fell through. Maybe the allotted time when they originally signed the contract just ran out. So they were like, you know what? We're not actually going to do this with you guys anymore, which makes sense considering they were already giving them such a hard time. So I don't know why there's something like that. As Matthew Cote has said, maybe he accidentally beat a kid up when he was younger and that person became the president of Funko Pop. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, we're still going to be getting some DBD figurines, just not from Funko. We are going to be working with YouTooz. So it looks like Dead by Daylight and YouTooz are going to have an awesome collaboration, which is cool. I'm so happy for everybody that still wanted these figurines. I know, you know, if you are a hardcore Funko Pop person, you might be sad that it's not a Funko Pop, but hey, I'm happy we're still getting something. From the image that we have seen, it seems that we're going to be getting the Trickster, Bunny Fang, the Huntress, and the Wraith as characters. They might be a little bit more expensive than Funko Pops, but hey, if you are a collector and you're looking for stuff, here's a Dead by Daylight YouTooz collaboration. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really awesome for everybody. But my friends, that is all the information that we have for you guys. I hope you guys did enjoy. As I said, there was a lot of leaks in that PTB. More stuff coming tomorrow. Really juicy stuff. I'll give you a little hint. Think about Resident Evil. Alrighty, that is pretty much gonna do it for me. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you leave a like down below and subscribe for some more awesome Dead by Daylight content. As always, I'm the King. I tip my crown to you guys, and we'll see you in the fog.